third guitarist?
I think third
Okay,
guitarist.
so you've been around and you've stuck with the band. So now this is the core of the band. Okay, so what made this lineup of the band special, Lukman or Iskandar?
Okay, so because when I came also, because what I like about live Petal, because of the genre that they are playing, like previously or most of my bands we are only playing rock music,
Okay.
but they actually input a lot of like orchestra and like a symphonic, like a orchestra element in the songs.
And the arrangements of the songs.
And that's why I like it.
All
Yeah,
right.
and furthermore, we have a lady vocalist in the band too.
Okay, why isn't she here?
She have some work.
Okay,
back in
all right,
Singapore, yeah.
and it's quite far away. Yeah. Okay, we'll get back to that question. Okay, and Mr. Zach, I call him Zach Pilu. Okay, well, how did he join the band?
Okay, previously I was a soloist artist.
Okay.
Back then, but when I was approached by Man, he told me that he requires another vocalist to back this band lah.
Okay,
So
I'll go back a bit. So was the lady vocalist the only vocalist back then?
No. Previously, we have two male vocals.
Okay. So he's the third one now.
No, he's.
I'm the second one.
Okay, all right. So, okay. So you stuck with the band since 2014 too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So this is basically a very steady lineup for the last 6 years or 7 years. Okay. So going back to the genre. Okay. You mentioned orchestral arrangements in a rock setting.
Yes.
Okay, can you elaborate on that?
Alright, so usually if you know like a rock band, you usually have your bass and your guitar works and everything. But we include like a violin, like more to a keyboard, because Lokman plays the keyboard, and then he will put in like a violin, like a choir. Yes, that kind of element inside.
I see. Okay. Have you? Okay, this is just a musician's question. Maybe some of you might understand this. Have you ever collaborated with any string players or live string players or mini orchestra in that kind of sense?
Actually, not. We have woodwinds. Woodwinds. One of our song actually, we have a flute player.
Okay.
To play in our song.
All right.
We collaborate.
A sessionist.
A sessionist.
Okay. All right. Okay. And this is a new thing for SabahVFM English. Okay. We have invited a band that sings mostly in Malay.
We play Malay.
All right. Okay. But is this part of a musical path for you?
As in the genre?
Or as in language and genre and the ideals of the music and where the future of the band will go musically.
As of right now, things are going really well with the genre that we are playing, and the listeners so far in Singapore, they are really accepting of our genre, and we haven't have any plans to actually have any English songs, but we are comfortable. But of course, in the future, maybe we will venture more to other language. Maybe.
All right. So you have plans to record in another language?
Of course, why not?
Okay. All right. It might be Korean.
Korean?
Okay, it sells, and it's all right. And then the obvious question after your answer is, of course, the following. Okay, why Sabah? Why come to Sabah to promote your single and your music? There must be a link to followings.
That is something which maybe look, you wanna?
Because our band.
Our plans is actually to expand our songs outside country.
Okay.
So maybe if you stay to Singapore, only that population only get to hear.
Okay, you're speaking about the whole Nusantara then.
Yes.
Okay, Indonesia, Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei, and southern Philippines and southern Thailand, and all right. So, okay, how far have your music taken you apart from Sabah?
So far in Singapore, of course. In Malaysia, we actually went through other stations to get invited, and also get a chance to perform alongside the local bands and gigs.
Okay. Performances are the most important ones. Okay. How many albums since, or how many singles since 2014?
We have Pilu is our 6th single throughout this year.
Okay. All right. Other than that, do you sell hard copies of your music?
We do, but limited. As you know, these days everything is through online.
That's right.
Yes.
So it's mostly online then.
Oh yes, you can get it.
I've seen the 2 or 3 versions of Pilu on YouTube. So that will be mostly your medium now, I suppose.
Yes, that's right.
And okay. Future
of our band.
Yes.
Of course, we plan to create and compose more songs, and of course to ensure that we get the acceptance from not only just in Singapore and Malaysia, maybe more, like you mentioned.
Okay. So are you here just to promote, or will there be any performances in Sabah?
For now, we are promoting, in the hopes of maybe in the future we get performances.
All right, that gives me an idea for a question, but I will ask that question later. Okay, talking about Pilu, before I play Pilu, okay, any insights or any input about Pilu? Why that as a single, Zach?
Okay, Pilu is actually composed by myself. This is a continuation of Permataku, our first single. So we plan to make it as a sequel. I mean a prequel of the song Permataku.
Wow.
There will be 2 versions of it. One is on his own composition, and another one is the music video version.
Okay. So talking about what's the song again?
Pilu.
No, after
Permataku.
Okay, why a prequel to Permataku? And what's so special about Permataku?
Permataku is actually the before version of Pilu.
Okay,
alright. So we choose that song to make it as a prequel because that is our first single. So we want to show people that
where it came from.
Yes, where it came from, the origins.
Did you write Pilu first or did you write Permataku first?
Actually, man write Permataku first.
Okay, so you wanted to tell the story how you got the idea.
Yes.
To write Permataku.
Correct.
In Pilu.
Yes, in Pilu.
He sounds different from his singing voice. Okay. One question for Zach only. Okay. Your vocals with Lukman and his Kanara's arrangements, okay, brings back to a time and era where in Malaysia we call it the era of rock kapak.
Okay.
You know those big ballads, you know those big Malay ballads, rock ballads. Okay, why this genre? Why how do you say, how in retrospective people listen to this and straight away they'll be thinking about, hey, end of 80s, early 90s, you know. Okay. Why?
I believe that rock never dies. So to my perception is, if I did not bring up the old era of songs, I think the new birds will not listen to rock genre anyway.
And of course the continuation of a legacy.
Yeah, legacy, yes.
All right.
Mostly the song is inspired by all those old rockers lah. So basically why I would like to portray the song back to our era is because I don't want it to stick to, I believe that the old rock songs only the oldies will know. So I just want to bring back the era.
But you wrote it yourself and it's a new song, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
actually Pilu was wrote by Man. I just portrayed as a vocalist.
Melody and lyrics by yourself. Right. So ladies and gentlemen, listeners out there, with the permission of Lukman, Zach and Iskandar, I'd like to play you live Petal and Pilu, and we'll get back to the boys after this. Right here on SabahVFM, Be Good.
Astro Channel 870. Be good.
This nasi lemak is so delicious. But it will be more delicious if I use my hand to eat, right?
Indeed it is. But have you washed your hands?
Oops, I almost forgot.
Next time, please do not forget to wash your hands. So guys, do make sure you always wash your hands before you eat, or even after going to the toilet. Keep your hands clean all the time.
Download the RTM mobile app on your tablet or smartphone. Watch your favorite programs on the move from TV1, TV2, TV OK, Best TV, RTM HD Sport, and live streaming 33 radio stations. RTM Mobile is now available everywhere.
RTM Mobile di mana jua.
SabahVFM. Experience variety.
Yeah, 32 minutes past 2 p.m. It's not Rock and Roll Tuesday, but it's it's Sunny B's half an hour of rock and roll on Alfie's Thursday afternoon. Pinjam, yeah, pinjam. Okay, why? Because it's rock and roll time, and it's because of these guys here. It's Kandar, Lukman, and Zach of the band Life Petal. Once again, good to have you guys back. Good to have you guys in the studio, and all the way from Singapore. Yes, this band is from Singapore, and Zach is the one you just heard a while ago singing Life Petal's latest single, Pilu. You sound different from how you speak, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, Zach first. Okay, Iskandar. That voice reminds me of the heyday of 80s and 90s rock music. What are your main influences as a vocalist?
My main influence in the band, or influences as a person?
Yes, as a person, in singing influences.
As a person, actually, my inspiration was Yabang from Khalifa, from Jimbara actually.
Okay, he's still around.
Yeah,
and
still around.
he is still active.
So I get the style of influences from him.
Okay. So what about international influences? There's a mention in your biodata that mentions the group from Germany, Scorpions, the international group Scorpions.
Actually, Scorpion was inspired by mine. So for my personal vocalist was
Klaus Meine,
Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, okay. All right, from Dio. Okay, all right. The late, great Ronnie James Dio. Okay. We don't have his songs here. It's all right. Maybe on Tuesday, when you listen to me, I'll play some of his songs. All right. And what about you, Lukman? What were you influenced by?
Actually, I started with vocals.
Oh, you sing too.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
My influence, Joey BPR.
Oh, okay, local. Okay, totally local. All right. And what about international influences? You got chops like
Gary Moore.
All right. True and true rocker. All right. And what about you, Iskandar?
For me, internationally, I like Mr. Big.
Okay.
Yeah. And also I growing up, my father opens to like Guns N' Roses, Deep Purple, Iron Maiden. Yeah, that's where it all started, and I started playing guitar.
So basically, you guys are influenced by the classics rather than the newer bands like Nirvana or the bands after that, like Alter Bridge or anything like that.
Yes,
okay, really classic. Okay, that's really good. And I noticed something here before I came in, and our friendly DJ from SabahVFM, Imran, texted me while I was on the way, and this was like almost an hour before you guys are in the studio. So there's I've been on the road before, and I used to play music, so I know the discipline of most musicians out there. So what makes you guys different from the rest? You come on time, you have really impeccable, manners, unlike most rock and roll bands that, if you listen to Pilu, they'll think like long hair. And, no, the interview is 2:15. Oh, where are they? You all it's 2:11 a.m. So what's the secret of you guys? As far as work ethics and discipline is concerned?
I think it's plainly just respect lah. Because maybe when people listen to our song, like you say, maybe they think we are some like people with rock, long hair and everything. Yeah. But then now in these days, in this context, all of us are actually working adults, so we know how important each and everyone's time is. So we just to make sure that we respect each other's time and just be on time and be disciplined.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that is the outside, the surface. So what about parts when you compose things or when you produce things in the studio? Does that apply too? Is there a formula?
Not really. Actually,
inspiration comes anytime.
When we jam, and me and my other guitarist Yusof, he's not here today. He will just play something, and I just this one something.
Okay, let's
something's
carry
brewing.
on. Okay, all right. So before we say goodbye and we listen to another song called what was that?
Tika
Bersama.
Tika Bersama from Petal. Okay, one last question which I think will take a bit of time to answer. Okay, what advice, Iskandar, to local Sabahan guitar players, judging that you guys take the time, okay, to record and perform and come all the way from Singapore to promote your music here? Okay, what advice can you tell Sabahan musicians and Sabahan guitar players out there?
It's quite a heavy question, because I think it works both ways, vice versa for us also. It's the commitment and the sacrifices, being so far away, and our intention is to promote our song to the listeners here in Sabah, or maybe you might never know, these bands in Sabah, they will have an opportunity to also promote their songs in Singapore. So it works the same. A lot of sacrifices, a lot of time that we need, and there's of course is the passion, the commitment that we have.
All right. When you say commitment, I'm speaking in the lines of us looking to Singapore as a developed nation, okay, and technologically and likewise, advancements are far ahead of Malaysia, and Sabah, of course, is in a state. So to that nature, can you add more from what you said a while ago?
I don't actually see that. To me it's the same. In music terms, even though in that aspect maybe Singapore might be somewhere ahead, but it doesn't really matter. In music itself, even if they feel like there are some things or there are some equipment, there are some technologies which is not allowing them to go far, but I think in time to come everything shouldn't be any issue, everything should be good.
Because there's one word pertaining to this. You mentioned promote. So a lot of Sabahans are still in the dark of how to promote their music, even with the internet, with so many media outlets that you can use as a promotion tool. So what about that?
Well, of course,
you came all the way from Singapore.
Yeah, we are lucky enough to have all this context that we have, who help us, and also having us here.
Links are important.
Yes,
okay.
At the end of the day, of course, you need a little bit of luck too.
All right. Okay. So we come to Lukman, head honcho. Okay, what advice would you give keyboardists or musicians or whoever is listening to your kind of music here in Sabah?
Okay, for the keyboardists, must try any of the genre. Yeah, because as a keyboardist we cannot stick to one genre because keyboard have many buttons, many buttons,
That's a
many
good point.
function of sound.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about composition and promoting yourself?
For the composition, I think not only as a keyboardist, as a guitarist, as a vocalist, must have patience there lah, the sabar.
Okay, patience and passion. Okay.
Yeah.
Iskandar mentioned passion. Okay, passion and patience.
Yeah, because the idea cannot come too early.
Okay.
The idea of the pattern of the song.
Okay, you need it. It's like making soup. You need to simmer there to make the taste come out. Right. Thank you, Lukman. And Zach, what can you add to this? What kind of advice could you give young musicians here in Sabah?
For me, as
a vocalist and as a musician and as a member of a band.
As a vocalist and also...
Because there's a difference between soloist and a member of a band, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Most probably, to me, what I experienced is you need to be very, very patient. You have to, your perseverance must be very high because music have a lot of need to have a lot of sacrifice as a musician, because not only as a musician, as yourself, if you want to be succeed, you need to put as a lot of like man say passion and passion inside it. If not, are you gonna
passion, patience, perseverance,
yes,
bertahan.
Yes, correct. So without these three P's, I believe you won't go anywhere lah.
Okay, because knowledge is knowledge, talent is talent, right? It doesn't matter if you're Singaporean or you're Sabahan.
Yes, doesn't matter.
All right. Guys, thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for sharing your music with us. We'll hope that you come back soon and perform maybe in a showcase maybe with Abu Kemenyan. Okay, guys, from Live Petal, say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
There you go. Thank you, Live Petal, Lukman, Zach, and Iskandar from all the way from Singapore to promote their singles. And I'm gonna play you one last number before I give you back to DJ Elfie right here on SabahVFM. Very good experience variety. It's something called Tika Bersama. It's Live Petal right here on SabahVFM. Be good.
SabahVFM on Astro Channel 870. Be good.
Hidup bersama umpama bulan dan